Okay. Touch wood, yep. Microphone seems to be working. Last time the microphone didn't work and didn't record a damn thing. Let's try clicking something. Yep, games audio is working. Okay. Right. So basically, the idea here is this is a game of bolt action using the new version 3 rules. For disclaimer's sake, I built this table, but I used assets that other people made. It's the same for all the armies, these little dice rollers, the bags, everything. The only things that I made are these little nifty little cards, which I use for flanking. So you can flip them over and it tells you whether something's flanking or in reserve. So there you go, terribly exciting. Why is that duplicating? That shouldn't duplicate just because I made it, but handy. So I made them, but they're terrible apparently. Yeah, so that's that. The table, it looks lovely, I think. I really went to town on this table. All my other previous tables were pretty rubbish. So this one, for example, I combined this car with this skeleton to have a little skeleton in the thing. And I think over here I went to town and put chickens scattered everywhere. We got cows in the fields, got interesting mixes, little bits of detailed vegetation. Yeah, lovely. The buildings, I believe, are states, but I loathe to talk of the states. They seem to usually break every time I do that. They shouldn't break. V3 buildings are something of death traps, so you might not see much of that. The only other thing to mention is the terrain. So what happened was when I set the game up, this was a recreation of a game my buddies played. I was just hosting it, and they were playing it, and I helped them build the armies that they chose for it. So it's not my armies or my army choices. I set up the table. I said we rolled for seek and destroy. We said it's deployment in quarters. What the deployment type was, and then unfortunately I forgot to discuss the terrain before making them do that. And so one of the guys said, right, we're doing quarters, I'll deploy in this one, the other guy in that one, or vice versa. But it was anyway in these corners, which means basically from here to here and up to somewhere like here. But technically by dense terrain rules, these would be line of sight blockers. And I think I have got these ones the wrong way around. Yeah, I have. This army was on the other side. I mean, the sides are basically symmetrical. But not quite identical. Just small variations. So this is not 100% accurate recreation, it turns out. I don't think. But anyway, basically with this being a dense terrain line of sight blocker, if the guy puts and that's rough ground. So the rules being that a machine gun can move through that, but a Nebelwerfer couldn't move into it. And the deployment type was nothing on the table. So the Nebelwerfers had to come on in very small opportunities with potentially very little line of sight. I just felt it was unfair. So instead of ruling normal dense terrain, I just said, look, it's rough ground. The Nebelwerfers still can't go in it, but they can see through it. So that's the odd rule break, or the inconsistency perhaps with rules as you might expect them. So dense terrain is a bit broken on this game. But I think it's important to not important to, but I'm just trying to do a bit of a recreation of what they did, because they built armies very different to me. So without further ado, the armies. Now, I'm probably going to mention their names because I'll end up accidentally doing it, but this is Eric. That wasn't accidental. This was Eric's army. So he said, I want vehicles. And what I offered him was a Panzer 1, 2, 3, 4, and something else, like a self-propelled gun, which is a good choice. He said, I don't like self-propelled gun, but I do want me a Whirlwind, which changed the army quite a lot. So we've got Panzer 2, Panzer 3, Panzer 4, and a Whirlwind, which is basically a Panzer 4 chassis with lots of auto cannons, which is very bolt action version 3. The funny thing was, I'd been working on his opponent's list, and I already knew he had a Whirlwind. But anyway, and his opponent had the guess that he was going to go as many tanks as he could, because that was kind of when in banter phase they discussed their potential lists. So to go with that, I made him a Heer Rifle Squad with 1 LMG, another Heer Rifle Squad with 1 LMG, a Lieutenant with an Assault Rifle. I gave him a Fallschirmjäger squad with submachine guns, so they have the stubborn rule. And I gave him an SS squad with assault rifles, and they have the fanatic rule. I tried to give him these as sort of, hey, you could take this, you could take that, and he went, no, they're fine, being Eric. Take them, yeah, whatever. So that was that. So Eric's army is notable for two reasons. One, that's a lot of big tanks. I've not seen anything like that yet. I did play a tournament, disclosure as well, in Sydney. Did play a tournament, and I didn't see anything quite like that as a list. I think it's pretty potent. Then he's got some infantry, 4 infantry squads is kind of the maximum I think you can do. So that gives him 9 order dice, which is not a lot. Chris, on the other hand, went with a sort of much more conventional army, I would say. A Wirbelwind, that was his choice again, and I laughed because I knew they were both having one. A Panzer III. I actually believe they've gone for slightly different variations. I think Chris's Panzer III is the 1 machine gun job, and Eric's is the 2 machine gun job. There's probably another difference, but I don't know what they are. His other notable features, you've got 2 Nebelwerfers. I used 2 Nebelwerfers in a tournament, and they were very successful. I felt like they did all the work for me. He's also got 2 machine guns, and he's got 4 infantry squads, and because he's got 3 platoons, is it 3 platoons? Yes, an infantry platoon, an artillery platoon, and a heavy weapons platoon. He's got 3 NCOs, and obviously both players have a command tank, because you must have. So that's the command tank is the PZ3 on his army, and it's the PZ4 on that one. So Chris's army looked pretty good on paper, and the Nebelwerfers I just know are scary. And when these two played, the Nebelwerfers were the main thing that was decisive from Chris's perspective. What was also interesting was they didn't, I'll explain the mission and the tables, but they didn't really. Chris knows less about the game, Eric knows more, and there was a major difference in how they played accordingly. So the mission was seek and destroy, which is basically a kill scenario. The player to kill more wins. You have to win. You get kills for killing an enemy unit, which is the whole unit, and you get 1 point for that. And if you get 2 more points than your opponent, you win. Congratulations. The deployment type was quarters. Now this is the bit that was kind of mental for us. Well, not yet, but it became mental. So that meant this quarter and that quarter accordingly, because one of the players rolled the dice and got that. And then the deployment type was meeting engagement, which means declare reserves, which can be up to half. Nothing starts on the table, and in turn 1 the first wave comes on, which we then interpreted, rightly or wrongly, that you have to come on in the deployment zone, because the deployment zone was defined as the quarter, so it must mean that you come on in the quarter, otherwise that becomes essentially gibberish by the deployment type. Someone wiser than me maybe I will tell you if that's right or wrong, but that's the way we played it. The deployment zones also interestingly affect flanking. So if, for example, you're starting in this corner and you want to flank down there, you can't flank into the opponent's deployment zone in, I think it's turns 3 and 4. So, which is funny because usually you come on at the halfway line, but those deployment zones prevent you going further. I think under new rules you can flank up anywhere up to their deployment zone in the first one. So in a sense, if you flank on this side of the table from this guy's perspective, you can flank anywhere up to the end of the table because it's not his deployment zone. But if you flank on the right, you're limited to halfway. I think that changed in turn 5 and 6, maybe. Right. So then also using the... so what then happened was... blah, blah, blah. Chris said, I'm just going to come off with everything, which is, I think, what I tended to do in the past. Eric, a little bit more canny, said, I'm going to bring on all my tanks and bring none of my infantry. They're all going to be flanking. And for those that are unfamiliar, and I can't remember if there's a difference between version 2 and version 3, but flanking is now you can come on anywhere along your baseline or up the relevant side of the table that you picked, which I think gives you a lot of flexibility. I now think of flanking as a sort of L shape that I can use to come on. So this, I can't remember which way he did it, and I'm not going to, because it's just me playing it, I don't think it hurts to say it should be, well, that's just silly. Oh no, there's a reason for that. Right, so you've got one here squad and one good squad, veteran, sorry, they were veteran squads, coming in on the right and 2 coming on the left, and let's say the LT on the right. I forgot to mention Chris's ones. Chris went a bit different with his infantry squads. He went with one dual LMG squad, tiny. I warned him it was going to be prone to losing men and therefore becoming ineffective, but that's what he went with. He went with another more generic one, which we stripped out because he needed men for this mental thing, which is a 10-man Fallschirmjäger squad, largely with assault rifles. I think there's one guy who has a rifle, and all the rest of assault rifles, which is just nuts. And he's got 2 Panzerfausts on those guys. I warned him that this was putting all his eggs in one basket to the tune of 224 points, which I believe is more than his PZ3 and almost as much as his Nebelwerfer. However, I also was trying to let the guys play as much their style as they wanted rather than my usual, I'll set you up with something. He's got a second Fallschirmjäger squad, also veterans. So these are 2 veteran squads. There's 2 regs. This time they've all got rifles. They're there to more just be the stubborn guys. These are the busters. So their squad composition is similar to 2 regs, 2 vets, 2 regs, 2 vets, but then different in how they've used them. Alrighty. So what I'm going to do is take these 9 dice. Is there anything else I missed? No, not really. Not really. So 22 dice was the original, and that's basically the setup. I can't remember which colour was which now. Let's go. So that's Chris. It's white. So I think Chris began by getting his Nebelwerfers on, which is not a bad start, and I'll sort of roughly recreate the moves they did. You'll notice they get measuring things on these things. I can't even actually remember where he roughly went. They can come on 6 inches. So he probably did something like that. 1. And there you go. 1 dice. Bolt action has begun. Shake hands, gentlemen. Lovely. Then he probably did another Nebelwerfer. Again, no misrepresentation of the man himself. If he did excellently better than me, I stand corrected. I sort of remember. Did he do something like that? Actually, might have done. You know what? I think he did more like that. I remember we had issues of who could see what. Okay, that looks about right. I'm not going to bother with what the order dice is saying because it doesn't really matter. Of course, Eric at this point did what you can do and went down. Which really early on kind of got under Chris's skin, I felt. He was like, well, oh, right, nothing to shoot at, nothing to shoot at. I'm just going to bring, I'm basically slightly playing as the guys played for the sake of argument. So come on, let's see where he went on somewhere like there. He did go quite far up. He went about as far as he could go. He wanted to get out of there. Call that. That looks good. Doodly doo, doodly doo, doodly doo. I wish I was playing my music at this point. I have to say it would be much more entertaining for me, if not anybody else. His other machine gun team, he quite strangely put in a really unhelpful place in the forest. Again, this is not his setup exactly. Where did he put it? Oh, he put it somewhere like here. So let's just again, I realise I put them on the wrong side of the table, which is, I couldn't be bothered flipping it. I wish I had done now. Because it's going to endlessly irritate me that I didn't fix this. Okie dokie. This is the point where I'm just going to peek the bag, because you always go, did I shuffle this? The more it, yes you did, the more it sort of draws equally or in a flood to one player, you go, really, it can't have been shuffled. This is the nature of bolt action. The best feature of bolt action, so anyone knows, is the order dice and the fact that you don't know who's going next. He wanted to keep his vehicles until last already, but oh, I remember these guys. No, these guys came on and went like, well, they could only go 6, so because of the trees. Was I nice to him? No, I wasn't nice to him at all. He'll testify to that. the camouflage is great, you know, completely gone. So I kind of knew it was him coming again. What have we got? Another LMG squad. I know he pushed this squad up the middle somewhere. So let's just do roughly what he did. He could have done something like that. I think that's roughly what he did. Hip. Would I do any of these moves? I don't know. I'd definitely put my Neverworth as I'd have probably spread them a bit. I also know he ended up with an LT somewhere out with these guys, which makes sense because you might want to do snap too. Chris watched some training videos. This was a double-edged sword for him because he felt like he knew more than he actually did because he'd misinterpreted some of the things he was seeing. Whether that meant they were doing it wrong or right, I don't know. So I know he boxed his Whirlwind in, which unfortunately I'm forced to recreate, which I phooey. Where did he put his other vets? I think his other vets went up here somewhere. There's an MG there. Ah, yes, I remember they went. Yep. So they ran up, I think, basically to the back of that building, roughly. This is one of my things with this table. You just delete some stuff out because things won't stand up. Otherwise, there won't be space for them. No issue with doing the odd bit of deleting. Yeah, if you haven't seen bolt action on Tabletop Simulator, this is obviously not bolt action. It's not designed to be bolt action. It's Tabletop Simulator. It's designed to run all sorts of things. It's far from perfect. It's very good in one sense, in that, yay, I'm playing bolt action. It's not so good in the sense of lots of things are a bit spazzy. It does have no clue of the rules of bolt action. If you don't know the rules of bolt action, it will not play the game for you. It doesn't understand order dice. It doesn't understand anything. A bit like some of the rest of us, you might say. Now, correction with them, I forgot that these guys can buff tanks. So for the first couple of turns, we didn't play them buffing tanks, which would have been a mistake. I will correct that with them. I'm pretty sure he sent another LT quite uselessly on somewhere in here. Fine. Geez, oh, this is very similar to what happened in the original game. The dice gods just said, you do, you go again. Let's say we'll put one LT. I think he put an LT up with this lot. How are we going? Can we have black dice? Yes, we can. But still those black dice are just going for down. Finally, we have a black dice that has to come on the table. I'm not going to peek the bag, but there's only 6 left. You can see what's over here. I'm not sure Eric brought on any of his armor before Chris had to bring on his. So that is going to be a slight change in this battle. It was very unlucky for Chris. In this case, a bit unlucky for Eric. What would I do? I would use the looks if I had to bring on one first, because I want a low-risk vehicle. I don't want something to get gunned away. Now, Eric kind of brought his on somewhere around here. I don't mind doing that, and I think he shot at some people. Well, who could he shot at? Machine gun? Well, so the problem is, right, in coming on, you notice these guys, they've come on there because they can only come on at the halfway. Like these guys could have run around that, and he could have come around that, so they can make it there roughly, I would say. But he has to play in his sector, so he has to come on here. So I think what he did is something along the lines of this. About 9. Or he went more like, I'll give him that. Probably, you know, the other thing you can do, you don't have to destroy things. You don't have to destroy things, people. You can just move them out of the way. Such as this little bucket, which is offending my tank. Is there anything else under the tank? It should be. That looks like it should be fine. There you go. Happy little tank. Right, I'm gonna shoot at shootsy. I can't see much. One way to test it with this thing is quite nice. You just highlight like that. So probably the machine gun team. The looks, you got the looks, is a range of 48. Really, that's a whirlwind I think you're looking at, isn't it? Yes, that's a whirlwind. Looks, it's still 48. 2 shots, 48 inches. It must be HE if it's against infantry. So I'm going to try and fire at the MG team. Oops. Range 41. 41, mate. You win. You must be mad. Right. Now I need some more white dice. So I promised myself I'd do all the rolling over there, and I'm already now coming over here. But it's only 2 shots. And basically needing 5s because he's moved. Because you don't take cover. So 5s. He gets 1 hit. So that's a 1-inch template. Now again, this is a recreation of what I did with them. I didn't space their men. In a bolt action tournament, you would space your men. But and I would do it for myself because I always look after myself. But I forgot to do it for them. So the men were really clustered. So when we were doing templates, I was just trying to be fair and thinking, well, like there's a squad here, something is just packed together, right? So technically this template could get 4 of them. But I didn't rule it that. I would say, for example, that's likely to have been 3 if the squad was distributed, as you'd expect it to be on a normal table. Bit fudgy, but it works. Okay, so it would hit 2 guys. So there's regulars killing on 4s. So 2 guys under the blast template, killing on 4s, but it's penetration +1, so that's killing on 3s. Really? Well, one of them's a 3. So that means Chris, hello Chris, needs to make a cover save. And his cover save is a 4. A 4? A 4? What's cover save? Light cover. 5. No, that is not a save. So, net result is a pin, and we're down to 2 men. That seems fairly similar to what actually happened in the first ever. Okay, I'm just going to do a thing with this one. I want to lock this. Clear. Okay. Because the dice will spin around it. Like I said, my plan is not to use those rollers, but I thought I'd just use this one for everything. But it looks like I'm going to be jumping backwards and forwards because somehow that seems easier. Alright, so they take a pin and they have a casualty gone. Not bad. Go looks, go looks. And of course it's white. Now, I think Chris had already brought his whirlwind on, and he definitely brought it on and wanted to sneak it behind this thing here. So let's just have a look at this. So he could have run. Did he run? Perhaps he did, in which case he would have got 1 turn. Just double check the rules on that. We gave him a sort of fudgy, you can be there even though your bum's a bit off the table, because it seemed fair. Like, I think you have to play a little bit loose with bolt action. Like, you don't go crazy, but you just have to not be a tight arse. For rules though, on the other hand, how many on a tracked vehicle with advance is 18 inches? How many turns? Tracked vehicle 1. So he could have done that move. I'm going to say he did that move. Otherwise it's all madness, madness. I think that's what he did. I mean, it boxed the crap out of himself, and as you'll see, he made that even worse. It technically though was kind of good move because it's got, you know, line of sight up there, I suppose he was thinking, and what else? That's heavy cover. Yeah, that else. All right, whirlwind dice, looks. Where did you put your looks dice? There. What do we got? What do we got? And again. Now, I'm going to simulate what he did. Did he bring on his Panzer and have a go at? He did. I'm pretty sure he did. Right. So here we go. So the squad is gonna. He brought these guys on, right? And he ran them. Ooh, do they not have movement? Oh. bad boys. Right. So he basically run them into there. Now, I did point out to him, mate, you're going to box this thing. And he was like, yeah, no, I know, you're a fool, man, I'm going to move them. Aha. Now, again, they shouldn't be hanging off the back of the table, but this wall is tight, and it can't be bothered reshuffling things. So, again, apologies for any rivet counters. That should not be like that, but it is. Obviously, his tank isn't on the table. Goodness me, his tank is on the table now. Right, well... So basically what he did, Eric by this stage had gone up here with his Panzer. So Chris wanted to have a pop at it and try and get a flanking shot. So he went up this road. Eric had done the same thing going the other way. They knew they could go basically 18 inches and shoot. Would he get a shot on the looks from there? If he came a bit over... the rule is, you know, if you can only just see him, it's not visible. But I think you can see enough of him. It's heavy cover, that's the rubbish thing. I feel slightly misrepresenting Chris here in that he wouldn't do this. But he definitely made a turn at the end to make himself square. So he wouldn't be a flanking shot to this tank, which will be here eventually when Eric comes on. So he's in normal range. It's a what are we looking at here? We are looking at a PZ3 range 60, so it's definitely within normal range. So he's moved, so he needs a 5 to hit. Do. This does make Chris seem a bit of a lemon, but I'm slightly trying to recreate what they did. It's slightly off, but what is kind of weirdly accurate is I believe Eric did get the last 2 or 3 or 4 order dice, so that is what he's going to get. Now the other thing was Chris was grumbling and saying, "I've got no targets here. I mean, what am I doing?" All through all this first phase, he was really kind of off balance because there was nothing to shoot at. And so, for example, his Panzer III, it's got a machine gun on the hull. He could have shot at somebody, but there's nothing he can shoot at. Even if there was the soft skin, actually, technically, he could shoot the. No, he can't penetrate it. He can pin it. Actually, he can pin a whirlwind, but he can't penetrate it. And you can't pin a armored vehicle unless you've got penetration. So basically it's up to Eric how he wants to go next. I'm just going to do the bit that I remember first, which is what I remember is the Panzer IV went ballsy and just went straight up the road, 16, 17, 18, something like that, and then did a 90-degree turn, thus occupying the thing. Now, interestingly, Eric being Eric, because it wasn't quite like this wasn't there, he shot at these infantry with everything he had. I really thought he should have gone for the whirlwind with his main gun. I still think that. He later shot the whirlwind with his main gun and missed due to the cover save, so maybe Eric knew something I didn't. But anyway, this is what I'm going to do what he did. Because I'm pretending the Panzer III isn't there. Of course, it would give heavy cover. Oh, this is going to get fudgy, isn't it? I know he shot some stuff at these guys too. I think he shot the main gun at these guys and got a hit, and shot the machine guns at these guys. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to pretend the tank isn't here, so they'll only get light cover. So anyway, machine guns needing 5s. So it's a German tank, so he gets 4 shots. Nada, not a bean. We'll see if this recreates. And then again, main gun on these guys needing a 5. Ooh, no. Well, on the first attempt he did, so these guys got whacked first time because it was a high explosive round. Again, I was trying to be nice, so it's a Panzer IV, it's a 2-inch high explosive round, so it's a 2-inch template. I can't remember how many people I said it hit. Let's have a quick look at the 2-inch template. There you go, 2-inch. The templates are not the best feature, I must say. Did that not go in the bag? Get in the bag. Get in the bag. Right, don't get in the bag. See what I care. Let's have a look. 2-inch template. So according to this, a 2-inch template could probably get 6 of them. I don't think I let him. I think I had him on 4. But anyway, right. Let's see. So next, so we've got a whirlwind. Now I know he sent his whirlwind out left. I'm going to do it thusly. Pew pew. And then I'm going to open up on these guys. Would they get heavy cover? No, not really. Light cover. Alright, so checking the range. It's in range, so it's needing 5s, but this is 8 shots needing 5s. So 2 hits. Now again, it's a 1-inch template because you have to use high explosives. That is the 2-inch template, of course, because that's what subs law says. But a 1-inch template using the same sort of commonsensical rules. Is that upside down? Who cares? A 1-inch template should definitely get 2 guys under normal rules. So I would say you get 4 of them. If you wanted, you could be nice and say 5, but I'm going to go with 4. So that's 4 shots needing 5s because they're veterans. I believe Eric rolled a bucket of 5s. I got 1. So that's a pin and a cover save of 1. There's not heavy cover, so he failed his cover save. So the rifleman is down. Okay, and then that leaves the PZ3. A PZ3 accompanied the looks. I think he was trying to get more shots on this thing. So I'm going to stick with this, that sort of theory. Now, of course, you're going to get blocked by the looks if you do the same thing the looks did. So let's have a look and see if we can get a different angle. Yeah. Could do something like that. That's pretty tasty. So main hull, a gun on them, and then the machine guns on... Well, I think he's going to be out of range, to be honest, but we're going to go with the machine gun team. 42, I think the range is 36. PZ3, 36, yeah. Alright, so we're out of range of those. Yeah, Eric has the dual MGs. Must be more points, I guess, I don't know. Main gun is normal range. But it doesn't matter, it's needing 5s is the first thing. Do. And the machine guns are out of range. So end of turn 1. Order dice back in the bag, or throw them near the bag and hope they go in it. Turn 2. But first let's just collect up all this gubbins. Again, you know, this is the thing, if you had a computerized version, plug, I'll come back to that later. If you had a computerized version, you wouldn't have to do all this fanning and manual range counting and so forth. Well, always good to check your dice once you're in. That should be 9, it is. And we know that Chris has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Was there not 13? Yes. Yes, indeed. Okay, you lot go in here. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. Shuffle. Again, I'm not going to peek because it's more fun not to. But turn 2. So Eric's inventory doesn't come on till turn 3. So once again, you know, Chris had got a bit more of a kicking than this, but was feeling utterly picked on at this stage. See what we get. It's white. So I believe what Chris did was he advanced his Panzer up something like that. Did he? No, that's Eric. What did he do? Did he retreat at this point? He had a pin on him, I thought. I think he stood and fired, and so that's what I'm going to do. He's going to back to that rotation thing, and he's going to fire on the PZ3 in retaliation. So again, he can only fire his main gun because there's no other order dice options. So main gun. This is a thing though, and I think I managed to persuade him to do it. If you don't move, the new rules are AT guns get +1 to hit. So normal is 4, but you're hitting an armored vehicle, so you need a 3. So that's a hit. So now he needs to penetrate his armor, and we're looking at PZ3. So his penetration is actually, I know what he didn't. He didn't do this. I know what he did. He opened up with his Nebelwerfers, but never mind. This is what I would have done. That's why I did it. +5 penetration on a PZ3. So, oh, it's a 10. So, are we at long range? No. So no penetration drop off. Oh dear. So it's plus. It's the armor of the other thing is 8. So it's not massive damage, I don't believe. Let's have a look. Oh, cover save. Yes, well done. So Eric gets a cover save. 1 dice. No, failed the cover save. He would have needed a 4 for light go at tank. Thanks. Shooting 82 was something in here. 3 all grazes. So it's not massive damage, no. So roll the dice and see what he's done to him. 2. 2 is immobilized. Part of the vehicle's tracks and wheels are blown apart. Add 1 additional pin. Can't move for the rest of the game. Okay, so that means it's going to be 2 pins on this PZ3. And stake number 2 is in fact immobilized. They have a little icon. Look, look, look. Fancy pants. Unfortunately, all these fancy icons mean it won't rotate the turret, which annoys me. Anyway. Okay, I'm actually going to go with his plan, back to plan A, which was he tried to Nebelwerf stuff. And he understood that if he shot the building, he could hit more than one, so he shot this building. So, check that within 6, within 6. Not within 6. So we'd get shots here. So Nebelwerfer, firing on the building. Miss. Firing on the PZ4. Miss. Firing on the PZ, whatever it is. Miss. And thus is the life of a Nebelwerfer captain. Did he snap too? Don't remember. Sorry, Chris. Again, this is not trying to represent them badly or anything. This guy, I believe, tried the same trick with him, and I think the Nebelwerfer was in range. Sorry, the Wirbelwind was in range. It isn't in range this time. Can this guy see that same building? Again, the easiest way to do that is do that, and then I'd say he can. So he'll just do the same shot. Makes sense. So building. Nope. Tank. PZ4. Nope. PZ looks. Oh, the looks wrecky. I remember that. But let's stick to a bit of realism. So the looks wrecked because he was within range of this. Where did he go in a consequence? I thought he kind of buggered off this way because it meant he was out of range of the shot, and it also kind of gave him an advantage. Oops, daisy. Oh, what happened there? I'm not in there. So I think he went something like let's do that. Right, so put these guys' pins over here. He needs an order dice because he went. So there you go. Again, would I? I don't know. Probably not, to be honest. But yeah, slight recreationism. Okay, so then there was a lot of grumbling about what can I do, what can I do, what can I do, and the realization that these lot were stuffing this lot. Now, interestingly, what happened was he tried to activate this lot, and they went down. They failed their order test. I think his LT was out of range, and he is out of range. So what he should have done is he should have moved his LT over to give him a buff, and then tried to get him to do stuff, but he didn't. I don't think he'd done it by now, because I think they had more than one pin on them, but maybe he was unlucky. What else would he do? Well, he wanted to play with his Whirlwind. In hindsight, it turns out that what the Whirlwind can do, and I don't think this is what he did, is you could shoot high explosive rounds on this thing, because you got a chance to. You're not going to penetrate its armor, because it's armor 9, and you've only got plus your armor piercing on these Whirlwinds is +2 and range 48. So if it is long range, which it is, it's only going to penetrate +1. Assuming you're hitting the front, which I roughly think you are, it's only going to hit, so that's the best you could get is a 7. So you're not going to penetrate a PZ4's armor. But you could fire high explosive rounds at it instead, which are HE1, and if it's HE1, it would do pin D2, giving it a chance to. Now, Chris, full disclosure, I forgot this, and I didn't tell them to turn 3. It's not that it's all my fault to know everything, but a little bit. So, unfortunately, that's what happened. But so I'm going to do what he did. I'm going to fire armor-piercing rounds on it, and said, you know, well, at least you can pin it. So he fired 8 shots, which is guaranteed to hit, because you need 4s to hit. It's not an anti-tank gun, so you got 4 hits. So that's it. You've got your penetration. You know, sorry, you've not got your penetration. You've got your pin. So just stick a pin on the PZ4. And that was that. Dun dun dun. Then it was Eric. Now Eric's got a full choice to go down with all of his stuff. From memory, I don't believe he did. I think he got on with stuff. So, and I'm going to try and activate this guy. He needs to pass a morale test because he's got a pin. He's the commander, so his morale is 9 base, +1, 10, -1, 9. 9 or less. Off! I had a freak out there. Thought we'd lost it. Under the new rules, if you fail an order test, it goes backwards, which is brutal. Now, thankfully, he can't go backwards. But yeah, now this is where I think Eric made a mistake. He advanced to shoot at the side because he wanted to get a side shot. Personally, wouldn't bother. Is it the side shot anyway? Is this to do with the angles? Tight. I'd say not. Which do you go for? Do you go for the Whirlwind in heavy cover? That's sort of tempting because you're going to blow the thing up out of the water. Or do you go for the tank facing you? I go for the tank facing me at short range. Well, not short, but 18. The other thing Eric could have done is he could have just advanced here to close in on this tank. In the long run, that could be a decisive move. But obviously, you do worry about getting hit in the side by this thing. So let's just machine guns on this squad and main gun on this guy. So it's not short range, but I'm hitting on a 3 because I haven't moved. A 1. A 1. Are you giving me a 1 for that? Then the machine guns on that squad over there. They're hitting on. Really? Really? Oh my gosh. Well, they're not hitting on anything. Sometimes life is ball action. And it happens. Well. What would I do after that? I'd be depressed after that, to be honest. The Whirlwind, I know he advanced the Whirlwind up. Personally, I'd be a bit cautious of this thing. You also got to be slightly cautious about, we know those Nebelwerfers around. I don't think Eric factored that in his thinking. is there any advantage to moving here? You've got a line of sight on him. You've got a line of sight on these guys. Why not just shoot? Yep, long range, but you're in range, so you can just do 8 shots on those guys. Would you go down? Well, yeah, I would. Search. Always take the bottom last dice. Really, what you should do is take a dice and shuffle the bag. I usually do that. So they've gone down, which is, I believe, number 5 on them. 6 down. So it doesn't change the to hit rolls. Still needs 4s because they haven't moved. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hits. And then how many would it get? Well, with 4 hits, in my opinion, it's the templates are going to cover everyone. Because, like, you know, even with a bit of spacing, yeah, basically everyone. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is roughly, this is one of the things that sort of happened. So 9 shots. They're veterans, so you normally need 5s, but +1 penetration, need 4s. So 3 dead. Chris would have to make 3 cover saves. Now, that's where the advantage going down is. So 4 becomes 2. He needs 2s. And he gets them all. But it's another pin, and he is down. And obviously the whirlwind is boxed in. Well, I've already deviated from what they were doing, and I'm probably going to deviate more. Alright, next. Chris. So his whirlwind's boxed, his tank's gone. At this point, Chris was just, again, I'm not being rude, but he was just whinging and going, there's nothing to do, I can't do anything. And I sort of get that, you know, he feels like, and I was sort of saying to him, well, do preparatory stuff, move stuff around a bit. So I know for a fact he advanced this squad, put them up in the edge of the trees, which was not a bad move. Basically, they would have gone where that car is, so let's just, unfortunately, delete the car. Goodbye, sweet car. Goodbye, sweet little man sitting in the car. Yep, there they go. And again, he's sort of grumbling every way. I mentioned he can do things like rally. He didn't have a clue with what to do with these guys. They just went down, which I sort of disagree with. I think they should be going somewhere, but I kind of get it. He felt like he's going to shoot him everywhere. He wasn't happy about it. And again, just as a micro pause, that is the strength of this army of Eric's and its strategy, i.e. Don't come on the board. Just present them with nothing but heavy armor, which they probably can't deal with for a lot of people's lists. Now, some people are going to be taking, you know, probably 2 anti-tank guns. That's a sensible thing, I think, in version 3, depending on your list composition. Plenty of people might take a couple of tanks, as in Chris has. But that's still, I don't know, is that enough? That's just on a postcard. Sorry, just have a little tea break. Everyone needs a tea break. It's not going to be a British one. We'll be back in less than an hour. Alright. Whose dice is it? Whose go is it? What's going on? I thought I pulled out a black dice. I did. I pulled out a black dice and randomly placed it in a bad place. What would I do with him? He's immobilized and he's got 2 pins. He should be down as well. So that's actually a mistake there. So we'll just fix that mistake. Okay, it's still Eric again. He's gone, he's gone, he's gone. They've all gone. Right, so well, it's just the down show. So again, well, this makes it kind of easy, and I'm not going to cheat now. But this is also roughly what happened. Chris, much to his disgust, went, what the heck? Nothing but your dice, buddy. 1. Proud of myself for hitting that thing from here. Yep, good. So basically, Chris has 6 order dice to use. And with respect, not much of a clue with what to do with them. So he left these guys here. He left this guy here. He didn't move that guy there. He left him. Did he move him? I think he moved him to try and get these guys going. Or he did it next turn, I think, more accurately. I have a vague feeling this turn he moved him away to hide from the Whirlwind. And who else have we got? We've got an MG team. Where's the other MG team? Ah, there. Well, we may as well rally those guys. So let's go 2 dice. Stunk. That's a rally. Pin gone. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody out there? Oh yeah, him. A little LT here. He's good place. Right. That is the end of turn 2. Turn 3 now. You know what I should do? Toggle. Oh, I didn't do this before. It's this talk amongst yourselves moment, you know. It's a man gathering dice. Woohoo! Right. And then this. So at the end we should get to 22. I have a vague feeling Chris had already lost a dice here. I think he lost his MG team, but I could be wrong. Doesn't really matter. So shuffle, 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 shuffle. Just going to move it back off the table. Lock the bag. And of course do a bit more OCD shuffling, and off we go. Turn. So Chris first again. Now this time I know he was feeling the heat and he reversed his PZ3 out of there. It had a pin on it by then. So I'm going to do that, much so I don't really particularly like the move. He can come all the way down here, and that's what he did. And I have a vague feeling he rotated like that. He could still take a shot at that, and he can. Long range. It's got recce, right? And you've moved, so he's going to need a 5 to hit. Would I recce the looks in the face of that? Nah. Looks commander breathes a sigh of relief. German dice. Well, I always feel like going straight to the PZ4. I can't remember if that's what Eric did. Is it the right move? Well, again, we're going to be replicating this shot, which is good, which is the one I'd wanted him to take all along. Because the Whirlwind, to me, the PZ3, well, the PZ3 is a problem. It's the anti-tank tank, but it's not, in a way, the Whirlwind's the most potent thing. It costs more points. How would you do this? Well, you're going to bully them, aren't you? Or do you just go for the clean shot hitting on a 3? Let's go the clean shot for one turn. Alright, so one shot needing a 3. Yes, it's a hit. And then the Whirlwind gets to make a cover save. So it's in heavy cover. So it needs a 4, which it gets. That was what happened. You know, the Whirlwind made its cover save, which then made me think maybe Chris was right to move his Whirlwind behind there. Machine guns. Always put some love on some people. I think I forgot it last time, didn't I, folks? Probably. But I remember he shot at these guys and these guys. Yeah, what I would do? Let's stick some more. Let's split the fire. I can't remember. It's normal range, light cover. So it's 4 shots. Needing 4s. 2 hits. That's a pin. Always a good thing. They get how many casualties? So it's 2 shots, 2 hits. needing 5s because they're vets, no kills. So it's just the pin. Okay, so the range is still long range. It's opening him up to the Nebula for a bit. But this is again going to be trying to be a slight recreation because this was in fact destroyed by the Nebelwerfers. You got hit 2 rounds in a row. One went straight through without detonating, and the other one did detonate. Okay, so moved. 8 shots needing 5s. Would you like to go down? Well, he did last time, but he wants to move to get them out, so he's not. Shots needing 5s. He only got 2 hits, but again, you get at least 4 guys under that blast. So needing 4s. So that's 2 kills. So and they get a cover save. 1 saved. Right, so that's thing, and it's a death. Right. So, well, I was going to say he needs to get him moving. Obviously can't now. He chased him up the table. He chased the retreating PZ3 up the table. That PZ3 is now out of line of sight of this one, so that move is not a bad one. I'm going to try and activate this guy. 2 dice. Will I rally him? Yes. 8. Well, I think he would have failed his order test, but he didn't fail to rally. Nil point, nil pins. Ah, I like the fact that it comes up in orange letters and mobilised. That is a useful, handy feature. Right, dice, 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 dice. It is white dice. It is the white dice. So again, this is not. Maybe going to go Nebel. Yeah, let's Nebel. So he wanted to Nebel this to hit this. This one we ruled couldn't see that building, so it had to be this guy. We trace the line of sight. You can see that. So again, rolling for the building, rolling for the Whirlwind, rolling for the PZ4. No. And it's a black dice. I nearly did my bad South African accent. Whew. So what else the lock's got on it as a gun? Is it just to... Is it... Where's my thing? Kite is just to the autocannons. Really is an infantry killer. Personally, I would go for that squad. I think Eric went for the machine gun team to try and finish them off. Okay, let's do that. So it's long range, but it doesn't matter anyway. So 2 shots needing 4s because we haven't moved. Does the MGT want to go down? A bit late to declare that, to be honest. No, a bit too late. Would I have? Yes, probably. So now, because it hit 2 of them, it's 2 kills. They're regs, so 4s, -1 is 3s. For the love of God. So, well, 1 with a cover save. So 1 with a cover save. No. So basically, it's a pin back on, another guy dead. Oops. And because it was half his men, he needs to take a morale test. He's got a leader nearby. Ooh. That ain't going to help, I don't think. and the leader is too far away. So no, in true fashion, he failed the morale test and boogered off. And that is an order dice. Search. Yeah. Goodbye, sweet order dice. Maybe I could unlock that one and use that one for the dead dice. Yep. Right, off you go, dice of shame. Oh, for goodness sake, missed the ball. Right, they've gone. So, well, it's, no search. It's a white dice. So we could use the other Nebelwerfer. I feel that was the theme, so let's do it. He might have even done a snap too, but I don't think he did. Obviously you're supposed to put them to the right actions here. So he's going to fire at, well, fire at that building. But now you can only get one guy. Yep, well, that's what he's going to have to do. So, against the building. Against the tank. Nope, Nebelwerfer's doing their bestest. Now, the thing is, men could be coming on at this point. It's turn 3. Okay, so who is... Get a grip. So, order dice. So, Chris was really bamboozled. I'm going to try and do this one for him. Okay, so let's move... Let's do this LT thing, right? So he can run back. Is he within 6 there? Yeah, he is. So if he comes back to something like... In fact, I think he came further than that. Ugh. Right, is he within 6? Yep. You really don't want to block your own guys, though. You want to block the vehicles if that's what you're doing. So he comes back. Next dice. Black dice. So Eric didn't have to come on at this point. This is a thing where, obviously, I'm not playing it as me. I'm playing their, kind of playing slightly how they played it. If you're doing flanking maneuvers, you really want to come on when you can't be shot, which means things have activated. The reality is, what roughly happened was Chris got really stymied and said, "I don't know what to do. There's nothing to shoot. And in the end, I said, "Well, I'll just go down with stuff." And he started to go down. I said, "Look, if you're going to go down, you're probably better to go ambush because you can go down from ambush." And that then set Chris up in some nice ambush positions. That kind of in this dice order hasn't happened this time. So these guys ended up on ambush, which then Chris unfortunately forgot to trigger, and we had to kind of retro fix it, which wasn't very elegant. You've put the dice down someone, you've forgotten whose it is, haven't you? Yes, did. Is it this one? It's this one. See, that's why I have bowls. When I'm playing 2-player or whatever, I have bowls on either side to put so that I know whose dice it was. And I also know where to look. And then half the time I don't put them there, I put them somewhere else. Dope. So I'm going to do roughly what he did, which is flank left. I'm going to try and bring on this squad. So they're regs. Yep, they love it. Vacancy left. Basically they can come on up to the halfway point, so it's about there, roughly that fence break. Depends what you're trying to do with them, but there is so much cover in this game, it's kind of hard to fail. I think I'm going to do with roughly what he did. What I'm going to do is I'm going to check the rules. I think it's anywhere up to your opponent's deployment zone in turn 3 and 4. So this is reserves. And try not to institutionalize mistakes in my thing. Reserve moves. No, that's a reverse move. Reserves 172. Turn 3 or 4, any point on the long edge or on the left and right, up any point that is not part of the enemy deployment zone. And subsequent turn, any point along the long edge or any point along left and right. So by turns 5 and 6, you can even come in the deployment zone. But because the deployment zones were not done right, or not, they were done right, but they were this weird sectors, it means that you can come straight away. You can come on down here if you want. So I'm going to do what Eric did. Oh, well, my movement measure has gone. What? So I think, I don't know why he came on down the road, to be honest, but that's what he did. And then the rest of them just sort of bundled in sort of looser formation. I think Eric had been watching me, and I'd sort of said, look, you shouldn't be this tight together, so he started to space up his guys. At this point, this is how you would normally move your guys in bolt action. That's better. It's more elegant, but there you go. So they've come on. The movement penalty, LMG's in range. He goes for that squad in the so-called open. What are they here? So basically he's only got 5 shots. Needing 5s because he's moved. So it's 1 hit, which means it's a pin. And needs to kill on a reg. It's a yep, and then a cover save. Nope. So it's 1 kill. So it's 1 dead, 1 pin. And put the order dice with the Menzes. Put the order dice. Where is the order dice? Where is the order dice? I9. I just had a chat about how you put them in a sensible place and then blah blah. Okay, it should be, actually now I think about it, over here, because these are them. Right, it's them again. So what have these guys got? They're left and they've got assault rifles. Oh, assault rifles, they've got a bit more range on them. What's going on the right? Oh, so regs, 2 dice. Oh, 2 dice. That's a fail. Now, Chris again should have responded to some of this, but he kind of was a bit confused, I felt. Oh yeah, these guys had activated, so let's see if we can get these guys going. We brought the LT through, right? So 2 dice, 9. Hold on a second. So they're 10, and they've got this guy buffing them. So -3 + 2 is -1, I believe, and 9 is a pass. So they lose 1 pin. It's the advantage of vets. And he had them run up here. And my opinion of why he did that was he was really freaking out about the tanks, and these guys have got what do you call them? Nebelwerf, not Nebelwerfs. Yeah, right. They've got Panzerfaust, so I think he thought, well, that's going to help. And obviously he wanted to unblock his own Wirbelwind from getting out. Cool. So that then leads up to what I think is the gist of Eric's next move, which was to try and bring on the vets with assault rifles who are coming on the left. Yes. Oh, look at those guys. So brave. Oh, why did they just hit? That's not good. Ow! I have a feeling they hit the light source as they went in there. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Well. There's the NCO. Okay, we'll get them off the table. Right, so he's going to come on 6. And his buddies are going to come on. Oh. Okay. Don't know, but they're going to shoot on these guys. They're too far away. Fooey! But they're on. They're on. Okay. Would I be pushing? Oh yeah, so going back to it, would I come on at turn 3? This is a kill dice thing. A bit of me just thinks, nah, I think I'll stay off the table a little bit longer. Like, I'm only putting my own men at risk by doing this, and you know, I haven't pressed home the tank advantage yet, so I'm not sure I would come on at this point. But oh, that's a white dice, which was these guys. Whose dice? Did I just get colorblinded and think that was? No, it's a black. Who's that? Who's that? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, we're going to have to activate the Whirlwind and put this one in the bowl for next, or put it there for next, I don't know. Kind of worried about who is this. So what he did with his Whirlwind was he went, I'm going to go bup, 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 bup. Well, the distance measure, so he gone what? 6 and then thing. Oh no, what actually, I stand corrected. What he did was he went basically about 9 because he wanted to get as far away from this guy as possible. Then he opened up on these guys. So 8 shots. Moves needs 5s. 4 6s. Oh gosh. Well, that's this will show you what a Whirlwind's like. So that's a 2-incher, is it? Okay. Where's the 1-inch template then? This tiny thing. So basically, oh, you finicky little thing. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4. They all get caught. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they're vets. So a 5 and a 6 is a kill. Now they need to make cover saves, and they don't. So basically, the vets get 2 pens. No, sorry, 1 pen. Oh, D2 pens. Yeah. 2 pens. I was right. I knew it. And they lose 2 guys. Of course, this is deviating from the story, and as the board of you will notice if you ever come back and watch the other part, which will be the second part of theirs if they ever play it, you know, the Whirlwind was already smoking wreck by this point. Does it change things? It probably does. Okay, there was that black dice that had already come out. Oh, was this not the people that did come on? Yeah, they did come on. So who's coming? Well, it's got to be the flanking people, right? So let's just see if they will come on. So we got one down. Would I send one squad on its own? No. Would Eric? Yeah. That's where I'm not going to. I'm just going to put them down. And that means I'm also going to put the other guy down. Which means that the last 6 are Chris's. What would Chris do? Again, I'm just going to probably start deviating a bit more, but, well, I still like the ambush that he ended up with. My ambush, my beautiful ambush. Four is an ambush, apparently. Oh, goodness me, 4. But then he would pick up the damn thing, wouldn't he? These guys may as well get rid of their pin. So 2 dice to rally. They shouldn't rally, but they do, and they're obviously going to love it. These guys, if they could activate, which they've got a chance to, let's give them a go. Oh, Fuba! Okay, and as you know, anytime you roll double 6, it's a Fuba. And that means what exactly, sir? It means. Oh, come on. 1 to 3, friendly fire. 4, 5, 6, panic. Of course, it's 1 to 3, friendly fire. If the unit does not move, opens fire against a friendly unit, place a fire order. Opponent controls it as if it's their own, except the token type must have an enemy within 12 inches of it, which has caused it. If there's no one, it doesn't fire and it panics, which means it runs towards the closest table edge. Or if it flees the table, it's destroyed, and if no enemy are visible, or if it can no longer move for some reason, it goes down. So if it can't see anyone, it goes down. If any enemy unit within 12 inches. I'm going to say there's no enemy unit within 12 inches, is that? Not even close. No. Can it see any enemy unit? Yes. So then it run order as fast as possible towards the closest table edge. If it moves to the edge, it flees the battle. Okay, well, can't go through the tank. It's going to have to go around. So here we'd go, let's say, call it 6 inches to there. And oh wait, okay, sorry. Well, let's just do that again. So about 6 inches to there. Well, in the spirit of the game, I don't believe they actually quite made it. So I'm just going to move them back. They can't be within 1 inch of their own units. God, that's going to make for a messy. They could just go down somewhere around here, is another thing they could do. Oops. Really? Why are you hitting? Okay, again, this is an example where I'm not going to micro measure. They've run away. It is what it is. He's gone. So, what happened there? Whose dice? Where's the dice? Oh, for the love of goodness me. Not that one, not that one, not that one. Who had dice? For the love of goodness. I'm getting bad, sloppy with the dice, aren't I? Oh, well, was it not because we had a big pile? No. They've gone. Who else you got? LT's gone. LT may as well go down. What would I do with the LT? Well, he doesn't really need to go that way. He's not doing anything there. He can go down. Again, I think what he did was he actually... Nope, he stayed there. Okay, that leaves one more order dice. Who? Not you, not you. Machine gun team. Okay, seems like that is everybody's dice. Okay, is it? Yes, well the dice page is empty, obviously it is. Turn 4. Go and by ball action standards, not too bad. Okay, I'm just going to correct that move from Chris. I'm going to leave that on ambush. I don't know if Chris would, no offense to Chris, but that's what we'll do. So obviously also one obvious point to make is Chris has dice superiority, as in he has a lot of dice. Now 11, that sounds right, because there's one dead and one kept. 1, 2, and then we got the 3 down here. Always going to happen. There you go. Black. Now the other interesting thing I would say was, again, this is not exactly as it played out, but roughly there's elements kind of quite a strong parallel. Obviously what flows on from deployment and so forth. Eric was running out of targets. Here it's actually gone slightly different. The Whirlwind hasn't made it out of sight. It's now on a side shot. Did Chris put it on a side shot? He would have had to come, turn 90 degrees, go that way, and then turn 90 degrees. So I think, in fact, he would have probably been there. So not being a side shot. What would you do if you were doing this now myself? Well, you know these guys got Panzerfausts, so that's not so great. But you know that's a Whirlwind, so I would just go straight for the far shot. He's not in heavy cover anymore. So where did I put the dice? Goodness me. Bloody hell. I need that bowl back up there. You know, that's what I'm going to do. Put one on either side of the damn thing. Right, where's my dice gone? Where's my dice? See it there? There it is. Black. Gotcha. So, needs to hit 3 on the Whirlwind. Well, it's a hit. Then the Whirlwind needs to make a cover save. Oh, for the love of God. A 5 is what he needed. He got a 5 light cover. Question of light cover. Yes, you know, he got all this intriguing crap. That's what you're giving him light cover for. Bloody hell. This table, again, if I was critiquing my own table design, looks lovely, but there's too much light cover everywhere. Like everything's in light cover, but you know, it's kind of a realistic terrain, I would have said. So the medium machine gun, I'd stick more shots on them probably. So 4 shots, they're going to get heavy cover unfortunately, but bugger it. That is 2 hits. That is no kills, but it is another pin. And this is definitely one of the ways to win the game. Alright, I'm just shuffling again, can't remember if I did or I didn't. It's a white dice. Right, so he's still an ambush. Nebelwerfer. He loved his Nebelwerfer, so would that be my first call? Shoot at a tank. Huh. Shoot the Wirbelwind. Shoot the Wirbelwind at what? Because there's a lot of targets. Do you shoot the Wirbelwind at the other Wirbelwind? This is again what I find difficult about the setup here. You've got a lot of shit going on, and if you're Chris, you know, a lot of priority targets. You know, technically he needs to get the PZ3 over to shoot the Wirbelwind. Shooting the Lux is pointless, it's going to recce. Can I kill the Wirbelwind? Armor 9. No, I can put pins on it, but I can't kill it. If it was me, I would just stand still and shoot the bajingles out of some of these people. So that's what I'm going to do. 8 shots, and if I was Eric, I'd get down, and that's what he's going to do. Again, you can think about this different ways. Do you keep your fire on these guys, or do you fire on the new guys? I always like to get more pins on everything. 25. It's long range. Why do I keep not factoring that in for something? Is it penetration? Something like that. So 8 shots needing 4s. So that's 4 hits, which are 1-inch templates. So I'm going to say, well, there's 1, 2, 3. So it's getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're regs. Oh lord, that is a lot of killing. That is 5 dead maybe. So that's 5 cover saves for Eric to make. Now it's light cover and down, so I believe 5, 3. So 3 failed. So 3 dead. Ooh. And it is how many pins? 1. If it's me and I have the option of rolling higher pins, I pretty much always manage to seem to roll a lower number. And that was him. The other thing Chris was obsessed with here, and again no criticism, was he was like, Eric by this stage had brought on flanking units on both sides. He wanted to send his men over here. I was like, what? You got loads of men over here. Just deal with that there. I didn't say a word, but you know, and deal with these guys coming on. But anyway, Eric. Now the luxury for Eric is he hasn't lost his Wirbelwind, which was a huge blow when he did. Same sort of strategy. It would be nice to get the PZ3 in on that, but it's immobilized. Getting the Wirbelwind. They've still not gone down. Of course, moving the Lux means he can't recce. No line of shot. Right, what this thing's going to have to do is fire on this squad over here. God, they're out of range. Is that really bloody right? 36. Yeah, give me a check on this. Oh, no. Again, I could check the rules if I wanted. I could never remember where you measure range. I think you measure range from the vehicle itself. When you check the line of sight from the weapon. So basically, of course he's got his main gun. Well, I'd already decided I was going to just shoot machine guns, unfortunately. Because that would be 12 shots. What would you do if you're facing 12 shots? Would you like to go down? Hmm. Yeah. So these are hitting on 4s. Oh my lord. Right, so there's only 3 misses. So the kills are on, these are regs, kills are on 4s. So 4 potential deaths. So the cover save is light cover and things, so they're all made. So basically, did force them down, didn't end up killing anyone because they went down, but they do get a pin. Seen worse. Okay, so that was you with the fire order. I'm gonna say now Nebelwerfer for that building. Nope. And the PZ4. Nope. And the Whirlwind. Nope. Of course, I should have maybe thought about Nebelwerfering those guys. Oh. Okay, I'm going to try and activate the vets over here. Nope. Now, I didn't really measure the range particularly well. Ugh. 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 Okay, they're out of range again. Yeah, like I said, I didn't really measure it very well last time. I should have probably done a better job. Ah. It's a kind of wasted shot. Don't like that. Again, I've heard another really nice suggestion from one of the other players. I think this was actually the end of version 2. And he said, these guys have got STG 44s technically, although actually I think they're modelled, it's not that. But anyway, I didn't model them. So technically they've got assault rifles. And the rule is 18 shots, sorry, 2 shots at 18-inch range. And the guy made a really nice suggestion. He said, why isn't it 24-inch or even 32 like a bar, 1 shot? And then 2 shots at close range. I quite like that. Or it's auto fire or long range, accurate fire, instead of this sort of middling 18 to 18s. Right, okie dokie. What are you going to do, Mr. White Dice? What are you going to do? Well, there is that other Nebelwerfer shot, and I think that's slightly tempting. Now, I'm not being too coy. We know there might be more flanking units coming, but we'd not get to see that ahead of time this turn. Is there any way he can turn things to face that stuff? Well, he wants these guys for the tank, is my gut. But then this is coming. Maybe try and activate these guys. Not a bad shout. So is he within 6? Yep. Okay, so morale test. 10. -1 is 9. Sorry, so their morale is 9. -1 is 8. +2 is 10. They pass. The old LT trick. So they're gonna go 6. This is not a bad move if they can do this one. It wasn't supposed to be pretty. It's going to be a bit of a fudge up. Put his dice here. Right. They've got an advance, so they're going to shoot down the road at these guys. Rifleman's in range. Rifleman is not in range. Rifleman not in range. So we got one rifleman and an LMG. So it's 5 shots, 6 shots. Needing 5s because he moved. 1. And not even a kill. And they're actually down anyway. But it's another pin. Okay. Getting bored. Not bored, but I'm going to never work out that lot again. The southmost infantry squad. Veteran squad. Nope. Okie dokie. Got a kind of half idea to push the BZ3 up here to go for the Wirbelwind, but that means getting the LT out of the way. Are these guys down? No, they advanced. Let's be a bit brave. So he's in range, 2 shots, 85s, no movement penalty, if I'm not mistaken, so it's 1 hit. Is it a kill? No, it's not, it's a pin. Okay. So what you discover is you can't shoot this one because these guys are in the way. You could shoot these guys. 1 inch rule to get past him. I'd give him that. Yep. So that's an advance. We're going to do main gun as a high explosive round. No. We've got 4 shots on the machine guns on the hull. Moved to 5s of hits. 1 kill because it's a veteran, and probably light cover. Which is not a light cover, so light cover's 5. So we got that, and there's a guy. Getting whittled. Okay. Now I'm actually going to do a slight Chris move here and put him down because he's kind of inconsequential. What is Eric's options here? So he's gone with that. Did the Whirlwind go? I really thought he did. Is that last turn? Help! He's gone. Lux hasn't gone. Don't remember. That's annoying. 4 dice gone. So we want to take this guy off ambush. He has gone down. That was him. PZ3's now moved, which frees up the Lux. There you go. That's what I would do. Where I'd go. Not sure why I'm pushing, but just on a sort of like get in range, kick some stuff. So we can put in a Vans. Now we can fire on these guys. That's half range. What's the difference for the range? I'm going to have to cover a quick check. It's not to hit. I think that's right. There's no long range penalty. So half range, long range just doesn't make any difference. Correct me if I'm wrong. Alright, so it's 2 shots. Needing 5s because I've moved. They're down. Give me a second. Who else to shoot at? Bollockle. You could shoot the Nebelwerfer. Doesn't make any difference. Yeah, let's shoot the Nebelwerfer. That's a hit. And the 1-inch template over that. Again, I would say usually it would be 2 because of crew modelling. So it's got a 4-man crew. I'm going to say 2. Yes. So 2 dice. They're regs. Plus 1 because it's high explosives. That becomes a 4. That means it's 2 kills. We need cover saves. Light cover. No. No. Alright, so he's down to 2. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so he's down to 2 men. And a pin. That's quite effective. I like that. Pew pew. Nice try, sir. Okay, I just want to do maths. 7 all dice left. With Eric having 1, 2, 3, 4. And Chris has another 3 after this one. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, well, I'm going to do what I suggested. He's going to do an ambush, which he's now on. Pull that back to there. Eric. So we've still got the Whirlwind, and everything's moved on the other side. Huh. What are we going to chew? These still haven't activated. Yeah, that's why we didn't use them before. They've advanced. They'd be good targets. The LT. It feels a bit wasteful. That's the other thing with the Whirlwind, I think, is it's such a powerful weapon. It's almost like, oh, I don't want to use it on such a trivial target. What am I saying? The goal of the game is order dice, right? But they've got the anti-tank weapons, right? Okay, I'm going to do a thing here. I just want to know something. So that's the group, and that's the Whirlwind. So the guy on the right is definitely in heavy cover. There's one which says 2 guys on the left are in heavy cover. There's a whole chunk, because if you count, that's heavy cover, which was never actually described to anybody. But I'm going to say no. So they're in the open. And if they're in the open, and I was Chris, I'm going down. Search. because they are about to get chewed. And this is kind of rather the point of doing this. So 8 shots needing 4s. One, two, three, four, 5 hits. Okay, let's not have a look at that yet. 5 hits, so I'll call that everyone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 people. Needing 4s because they're veteran. Oh, Jesus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kills maybe. So Chris needs to make 5 cover saves. Light cover, 5, down 3. So, oh, not bad, I think. So that's 2 saved. Sorry, 4 saved. 1 dead. So, of course, power down there. And that's kind of why I didn't want to use the whirlwind in the first place. Because I kind of thought he's going to go down. But then again, he is the primary target. Okay, Eric again. So there's all this right stuff, that's it. Everything else is gone. Yep, yep. Well, the ambush has been triggered. They're down. He did go on ambush, and he's still got this squad in response, but it's probably time to go. So let's see if we can come on with the infantry squad. 2 dice. Yep, they needed 8 or less, because they get -1. Turn 4, so they can't come on further. Would you want to wait a turn? You know what? Apologies. I'm not going to. It's not changing my move, but yeah, I'm just going to go down with that. Which means then that's down, and that is also would be down. So you go. And you go. So Chris has 2 to go, and then Eric's all done. Right, is that right? Yep, 2 to go. What is the 2? Him and him. Well, if I was Chris, I feel quite confident here about the infantry battle, but not so much about the vehicle battle. The MG can't do anything. Eric's not declared his hand, but it's obvious he's coming on this side, surely. So, one option is to do some sort of preparatory thing where we move a bit. Obviously, there's things in the way, but those things in the way might vanish. And then these guys, what would you do with these guys? Well, you can't go in the building because of fear of all the vehicles. Would I go on ambush? Not really, these are not great firing positions, so that is kind of it. So anybody left on ambush? Let's leave the LT in ambush for giggles. So what's exciting? What's exciting? Yeah, I think it is exciting. Come on, it's exciting. What's exciting to me is that Eric hasn't lost his Whirlwind, and it really it didn't ruin the game for Eric, but his power is through having multiple tanks. If you lose one, you know, that's this slight odd refavoring, and obviously it's not as expensive as PZ4. So we got the PZ3 is 140. The PZ2, because it looks, is 115. The AA Whirlwind is 235, and the Panzer IV is 225. It is the most expensive vehicle, yeah. So you know, the Panzer IV is designed to kill tanks, right? Fine, but it doesn't have the same output of shots, and isn't therefore a great infantry killer like the Whirlwind. And the looks is not bad, but it's only 2 shots rather than the Whirlwind's 8. So there's a big difference in them. So it really was his star player. This thing with its immobilized thing is still quite nice because it's got 3 MGs if it wants, which means 12 shots. Okay, so we're doing shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. It is now turn 5, so that means reinforcements or flanking units can come on anywhere. This was not what Eric did, but I believe this is one of the things he should have done. Alright, so what would you focus on first? Well, you managed to box yourself in, you donut. I know why, because it was sort of getting maximum firepower. So you need them out the way to get him in the way. But you also want to try and take a shot at that whirlwind before you get taken out. Whew. It's a tricky little knot that's down here. I think I'm going to be brave. So the plan is to move the Panzer 3. I stand corrected. This is the brave bit, right? So he's going to go. So we could go to something like this, right? Can't quite go there because of the LT, but that's that. So now he's free to shoot the whirlwind or the Panzer 4. Gonna say shoot the Panzer 4. Everything was working up to shooting the whirlwind, and now I'm here. I'm terrified of the Panzer 4. I think you have to be positive and go. I've got to give it a go on the whirlwind. Yeah, right. Okay, so it's one shot needing a 5. Oh, he gets it. He gets it. The dog. Now, cover save. So, definitely light cover, that's it. So, the whirlwind needs a 5 to save. Doesn't. And now, a armor roll. 2E. That's not so good. So, this thing is pen 5. It isn't long range. So, it's still pen 5. Plus 2 is 7. So, nothing but a pin. Which is something. It was a brave move, right? I mean, take out the whirlwind. It needs done. Ooh, although, well, let's have a look. Is it worth doing straight away? God, I'm the same. The PZ3 is a threat, but I'd love that whirlwind gone, and that's what I'm going to do. So it's going to be whirlwind, and it's going to be. LT, for example. And being thorough, if the LT is being targeted, he's going to go down. Because he is an order dice. Now, did I flag the inexperienced guy? Well, last time, one of his guys is inexperienced, and it was the guy he put here. So I'm going to be true to that form. Alright. So, needing a 3 to hit the whirlwind. That's a hit. And whirlwind gets a cover save, light cover. Unbloody real. He keeps getting them. Wow. Well, that's just nuts. I can't believe it. PZ4 is feeling very aggrieved at this point, right? So he's going to do 4 shots on the LT. Doing 4s. Ooh, 3. He's going to roll for kills. On an inexperienced guy, he gets 2, and those must be saved on 5s. Oh no, wait. So it's light cover down. So it's 4 becomes. Sorry, 5 becomes 3. That becomes. So a 3 is not a save. So that was actually a good call. I thought that might be. Funnily enough, I just described how the PZ4 wasn't an infantry killer, but and obviously that's a bit loose play from me / Chris to leave him in line of sight of that. On the other hand, it was a good call to shoot him. I didn't shoot these guys because they're in heavy cover and they got 4 pins on them. So I know they're the big threat, but I thought let's leave them. still think unpicking this is a good idea. How best to do that? Well, if these guys kind of went down the side here, you could be a bit gimpy. No, I kind of like that. Yep. So he goes something like that, and the loader goes in with him. Rifleman, and the NCO. The NCO can probably leapfrog. I don't think that's dodgy. He's at the front, brave man. 1 inch rule, would that be a 1 inch rule? Tracing the line of fire from the actual gun itself. Bit tight, but it'd probably get it clean on them though, so it's something. So this is an advance. So basically 1, 4, 5, 6, 7 shots. Do I go down with these guys? Yeah. Yeah, I do. Here's down. And we're going to fire 7 shots, needing 5s because we moved. 2 hits. 1 kill. Cover save. And he's got no cover. And because he's got no cover, that's not a cover save. So 1 guy dead and another pin. Hello, Gandalfino. This is a cat, Gandalfino. Hello, darling. How are you doing? Will those children being mean to you? Oh, darling. Well, it is a good time to have a micro pause. That is right, Gandalfino. It's always a good time to have a micro pause in your cat, isn't it? Okay. Who was I doing this? Oh, it was them, and I finished because I shot him, and it was good. Right, again, order dice supremacy, you see. So having moved that to get that out the way, these guys can shoot on those guys, which seems like a good call. Again, it would lovely to shoot on the PZ4, put pins on him, for example. But again, these guys are in the way, and I don't foresee them making their order test somehow. So I'm going to say he's going to shoot on that to avoid the 1 inch rule. From this firing point, I think that'd be valid. What's that guy? So no movement, so he's hitting on 4s. Obviously the other guy is not a clown, he's going to go down. Oops. Well, I appreciate that, Gandalfino. I do. It is a good point. Should they have gone down? Of course they should. They're in the open, man. Or light cover. And they're facing a whirlwind. It's horrible. 8 shots, needing 4s. 5 hits. And using the templates, that would get all of them. So that's 4 saves. Saves? No, 4 to kill, sorry, 4 kill rolls. 2 kills, so 2 cover saves needed. And they're made. Oof. But it is another pin, unless it's 2 pins. Is it 2 pins? Well, tune in next week to find out that it is in fact 2 pins. Oh dear. Wow, this advance is looking well and truly covered by the slot, I have to say. What's he whittling about? What's he balanced on? That's a question that will plague mankind. Are you alright, sir? But you, no, whatever. You just sit like that. You just sit like that, sir. Huh, must be part of this thing. Must have a model on it. Ignore. Can you ignore collision on stuff? No, no, you can't. But anyway, not the point. Not the point. Pull a dice, man. Black dice. So moving the looks to get him out of the way of this thing seems half a move. Getting him a good shot on that whirlwind would be lovely, but the angles are not great. You feel like you're running out of time to do it. Okay, I loved hitting the Nebelwerfer last time, but these guys haven't gone down yet. So let's pour it on these guys. So 2 shots, needing 4s. 1 hit, and again it's a 1-inch template. So I'm going to say 3 because it would be nice. Oh, did he want to go down? Bit late now, unfortunately. So it's 2 kills. So it needs 2 cover saves. Neither made. So it's a pin. Actually, is it 1 pin or 2 pins? Starting to get the hang of this. Of course, it's me. It's 1 pin. Why am I Eric? So we have the 1 rifle we can afford to lose, and then you have a dilemma. Loader NCO. So I think we're going to say the NCO, and then I can use this as a token here. NCO dead. Look at that. Did I make that? I might have made that. I don't know if I made that. I can't remember. It's been a while. Could be a bit more helpful if it was bright red, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. I can colour tint it though. If I colour tint it white. No, that doesn't really help. Colour tint it red. Yellow. Yellow is a bright colour for me. Seen brighter. Okay. Good job, looks. White. Well, the Nebelwerfer obviously got picked on. That seems to be a thing to do. All this stuff's gone, so I don't really. Kicking them in a bit more would be a good thing, but let's try Nebelwerfering with this thing to try and make a difference. We're going to go for that building, so building first. Nope. Whirlwind. Yes, there you go. There's history repeating itself. So this is this is a Nebelwerfer, which consists of being a multiple launcher. Oh, we forgot the pins of the firing of the multiple launcher. Did anyone say that in the chat comment? Was anyone watching? No. Right, so I'm going to put an extra pin on him, and extra pin on. No, can't do that. That's the pin that he would have had. That's the pin that he would have had. Right, so to make that fire, I don't have to pass an order test. Have got an LT nearby. Passed it, no problem. Pin gone. Right, drama averted. Still going to get the hit then. So roll to penetrate. 1. 1 is always a fail. So how many pins? This is a counts as a heavy mortar. I'm sure it does. HE3, yep. So pin D3. Oh, of course it's a 1. Did that? No, that's a second pin. So that's him fired. In firing, he brings on another pin on himself. I was doing D3 at the tournament myself, really heavily pinning myself out, which felt great, but because I was often rolling 1s anyway, or the equivalent of 1s and 2s. But yeah, I was nuts. I should have only been putting 1 pin on as far as I read the rules now. Don't know what I was thinking now. So again, the other Nebelwerfer feels like the right thing to do in a sort of bitchy, have at ye sort of way. He needs to pass an order test. He's got 2 pins on him. Laughs in the face of pins. He gets to fire. He's going to fire at. Now, this is the thing. Is this within 6? I would say no. That is, but I don't have a line of sight on it. If he rotates, I don't think he can shoot. Because he is an artillery piece, I would have said. Yes, he is an artillery piece. So I'm just basically thinking the lines of fire for these things, right? And I've been a bit casual with my placement. He really should have been a bit more rotated round than that. That's a bit gash. So I don't even know if he's in the firing arc. Close. I'm going to say yes and be nice and just assume that I placed him a bit better. Like that. Would you do that? Yeah, you would do that. Yeah, alright, that seems fair. Whatever. I was a bit hurried with putting them on. That's my excuse. Please ignore me. Shuffling the things. Right, anyway, so there he's going to fire on this squad here, which will get this squad here. So first the target. Nope. And the other lot. Oh, the rolling is very flat today. I don't know, the dice don't seem to be lifting up very much. It's a bit annoying because if you hit the R key, I mean R is the same thing, but we tend to do like that and then really give it some because it feels better. Whatevers. Right, they did activate. They're done. Did they take their other pin? Nope. So get another pin back. Oop. I don't care. Put him in. Ah. Right. Black dice. Black dice. Black dice. Black dice. So he can move. I was hoping to clear this guy out the way to give him a better line of shot. Can pretty much failed to do that. He does have his AT gun. I think I'll just leave him for now. Whirlwind, I can check if he's within distance. He is within distance of the commander, so he'll be buffed by the commander. I didn't remember Snap 2 with any of the tanks again. That's terrible. What is the issue going on here? I think we're going to go on these guys again. Just keep them pinned down. Well, let's see if we pass the order test. Five. Yes, that would be passed. And he's going to shoot on these guys now. He's only going to be hitting on 4s plus 1 5s now because he's still got a pin. You want to go down 8 shots needing 5s. Knowing how deadly they are, well, maybe not. Basically, we want to rally. We can't keep going down. We're going to run out of game. So there's only one hit. That's pretty good. It is a 1-inch template. I'm going to be nice and say there's going to be 2 guys. One is a kill, the other is not. So they get a cover save of 5. Is it? Cover save of 5? Yes, probably is. So it's another pin, but no dead. That's his pin that cost him. Well, actually, it's pretty guff rolling as well, I must say. Okay, it's 9 left. I think it's time to bring on some action. So I'm going to try and bring on the infantry squad. 6, they are happy to come on, and they can now come on anywhere they like. Ooh. You've got things that can hurt you. These guys NCO dead 2 pins, a lot of gunpowder. These things are 0 threat. I quite like the idea, personally, you know what, of being clever. Bring them on here. They can't be shot by the Nebelwerfer because it's too close and it's out of the arc of fire. And the Nebelwerfer prevents some of these other units firing through. But he can fire through and shoot at them. So that's what he's going to do. Not point blank. It doesn't matter, I'm not ranging. So 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 12 shots that have moves and needing 5s. Right, okay, 12 shots needing 5s. Would these guys like to go down? I feel like there's no point, you know, trying to be on ambush. These guys on ambush, can you trigger? Yeah, probably. No, probably. I think we just discussed that. If we put that like that. So it's not bad for things. So if you kind of look like that, he basically is out. Yeah. So even though he can't ambush. Fuck it. Go down. I think this is playing tighter than some of these guys would, but this is my nature, which is a bit tight. I mean, the game is to not lose order dice, right? In this mode, so that seems like not a bad decision to go down. 12 shots needing 5 still. Where did they go? Oh, wow. Something strange happened. 2 hits. They are regs. Whoa. Oh, I see, because it's so below the table. I'm not going to roll there again, sorry people. And so needing 2 cover saves. Which is down and light cover. No. Oh, that's not good. So they get a pen. Then they lose 2 guys. If they have a no loader, what is the thing with the team LMG? With a loader. Let's see if I have a rule about loader. No, of course not. Warlord, Warlord, Warlord. Why do you not have a section for loaders? It's not artillery, not tough fighters. Would it not be team weapons? Nope. Officers. It's not in headquarters. Support team weapons. Squad-based team weapons. If the loader is killed or is not hit, suffer -1 to hit. Right, so basically we want to kill 2 loaders in my opinion. I don't know if that's statistically correct, but it means I get a load of shots and oh no, I'm not allowed to consolidate. Get a load of shots, but they're at -1 to hit. Gosh, well, they're not really combat effective, are they? That's kind of good. Black again. So the last order dice should have gone here. I'm going to advance. This is Trixie. I'm now going to advance the NCO because whoa, there's an ambush there. Okay, now I'm going to try and activate the flankers. Seven, they're on. The other thing to note is in this game mode, if they don't come on, so they're now down, he's the ambush. Well, we're going to have to just do it. So they're going to come on to about there. You know what? They're actually going to be brave, and they're going to come on like that. So just have a think. So they could have gone to there. Yep, no problem. Okay, so he can trigger the ambush, and he can do it last minute, so they'll be within point blank range. So he gets 2 shots. Needing 4, so it hits and it kills. These are vets. No kills, so they don't need cover saves, so it would be a pin though. So they take a pin as they come in from the ambush, and he changes it to fire. Who are you going to shoot at? Obviously my first thought was shoot the Nebelwerfer, but the Nebelwerfer's no threat at all. Well, it's a threat to somebody else. But it's activated, but the LT is an easy order dice. They're both easy order dice. What you saying? Well, the LT can shoot back, they can't, so kill the LT. All these guys. Ooh. Finish off that squad, that's a lot of gunpowder. I like that. Let's go for them. I did all this to get bloody point blank range, right? And then I've changed my target. That is what it is. Alright, so no move penalty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, what? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 SMGs. Not using you. So that's 10 shots with SMGs, and they're hitting on 4s. Oh, jeez. So that's 7 hits. I need myself an old D10. Even a D12. Let's go crazy. So that's now at 7. Alright. That was the number of hits so far. Jeez, oh, kiddo. You could get a dark colour. Then 1, 2, 3 riflemen. They will get the move penalty, so they're hitting on 5s. They were of no use. Thank you, rifleman. So going back to the 7 hits. Ouchies. Rolling for kills. 2 are kills. That's quite pathetic, but it is what it is. Now they need to make cover saves. He's down with light cover. So he'll be saving on 2s. What? Oh, of course, 1 failed. Well, that's interesting. Didn't really do the best job of that, I feel. But okay, wait a second. They lost half their men. I might have missed one of those in the last turn. Actually, I did. They should have taken a morale test. Are these Fallschirmjäger? Hey, they are. No, they're not. That's why they say here. Oh, he would have been gone. Okay, what does this mean? He should have run away at the end of that thing. Okay, this is a horrible moment for me. I don't really like doing retro stuff. It's sort of if you missed it, you missed it. On the other hand, they should have taken a morale test. And they failed that morale test with a spectacularly. So, they are gone. And you could adjudicate this if you're playing it yourself any number of ways. Again, a computer would have never made that mistake. I did. and I was hitting with a -1, so which I forgot, so I can now fix that. So looking at the scene, they just come on, they were already gone because they failed the morale test from these guys. What, to kill one guy, but fucking yes. So no cover saves because it's point blank. Let's take him out. So it's 10 shots, needing 4s. 4. Then 3 shots. 5s. So it's total of 6 hits. He's a vet. So it's only 1 kill. So he's got his cover save. I forgot the missing for the -1 for shooting. Oh god, this is just a debacle. Oh, I don't know what to do. He didn't make a cover save. He completely failed. Probably statistically speaking, that was like, I'm gonna re-roll it. Fuck it. So should be hitting on 4s for these guys, but I moved, so they become 5. But he's got a pin, sorry, Jesus Lord. So they become 5s. So there's only 3 hits, and then the rifles, again, they have a pin, you see. So they get move makes it 5, so they're only hitting on 6s. So again, that's 1. This feels probably a bit more right. 4 kill attempts on a vet. 2, he's worse off after all that. Cover saves. What cover saves? What cover saves? He gets no cover saves. Right, so he's dead. Did I move that into the bin? Probably. Done. I like that flank attack. And apologies to anybody watching, whoever watches that again, about how badly that was managed by me. Okay, well, interestingly, did clear the way for these guys to respond. And the MG team, I forgot about you, didn't I, Lovey? It's the MG team. Can he fire? My view is he can, because he can fire on him. And he's turned. This was the advantage of doing something, right? So, fire. God bless you. And this is what I like about German machine gun teams. 7 shots. 7, you say? Yes. Needing 4s. 50-50. 3. And I'm shooting at vets. I get nothing. So just returning to that previous thing with the Fallschirmjäger, his Fallschirmjäger. They did roll on full morale, being Fallschirmjäger. They have the stubborn rule. Unfortunately, they rolled a double 6 to see if they stayed on, and that's as bad as it gets. And so no, they didn't. So these guys, that machine gun team fired. These guys can now also get in on the action. Now they've got rifles. Should they move? I think is sort of the view is this flank is flankenzy, didn't it? Would I move from there? Oh gosh. Looking at it, no. I don't know what I'm doing from there. I'll move away to let the Whirlwind do something. Could he? Yeah, with a bit of jiggling. Alright, maybe that is a theory. And okay, so to do this, I'm gonna move like somewhere like that. Oh. Just drop him in there, right. So they're firing on these guys. They're in range. So they moved, so they need 5s. There's 7 of them. 7 shots needing 5s. Not been. So they still got 2 pins on them. Whether I box myself in will remain to be seen. Wow. Is there any black dice left? I think maybe one. I'm not cheating. No, two. I shouldn't have looked now, I feel. Okay, so he can go and he can go. Well, I wanted to shoot some people with him, so I'm quite cool with that. He needs to stay out of the way of all sorts of gunfires. Bullets are just... This thing's firing on one side. This thing's firing across the back of him. They're firing across the back of him. This thing's firing that way. This thing hasn't fired. Okay, right. He's going to try... I'm going to rally these guys. This is it. I got it. 5 rally. So... Oh yeah, oh yeah. So they lose all their pins onto the new rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we go black. So I do remember. So I've got the Whirlwind and I've got this infantryman. No, I haven't got the Whirlwind. I've got the PZ. Oops, daisy. It's always something, isn't it? The PZ can shoot past this one if he uses machine gun fire only. So let's just check this one. Yep. So the PZ, that was my target, I should be clear. You're not allowed to pre-measure. I believe he put the order dice somewhere daft. Really? Did we just do this again? There it is in the field. So I wish I could move him, but he is immobilized. So 12 shots. It's going to be heavy cover as well. Needing 4s. This is the exciting bit. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 missed. So 7 hits. They're veterans. So 2 kills to save. Oh, it saves them both. Phooey, it's still a pin. Oh, that was a fire. And we go white, which we know is... Oh, that's... Who dare? Oh, there's the you that. And... Oh, the LT. Oh, he's just going to fire. Both these units down, yep. More likely to kill regulars. Also find they're out of range, you donut. Oh, idiot. Yeah, well, you shouldn't have looked at that second one. They're all out of range. Okay, last black dice. It is, I want to say the Whirlwind because I always want to say it. Is this the LT? Yes, it's the LT. Let's see if we can come on. 9. Yeah, because he's got his own buff. He's like the happiest thing ever. So he can come on anywhere. He could come on and run up behind this. He could come up and try and run to those guys. Don't think he's going to make it, but is there any advantage in coming on here? Yeah, because he buffs them. And he's more directly involved in that. Okay, so he can move through his own units, right? He said, speaking to himself. So he could do up to there. Oh, I like this. Ooh, I like this. Right, and then he can shoot on anybody. I was checking he's not too close to them, that's why I was checking. So 2 shots on that Nebelwerfer, because he might be able to knock it out. Oh, silly man. I'm going to ignore those because I hate that thing. I shouldn't be rolling on it. I just delete it. Even that's a glitch on it. is it because it's locked? It is, because it's locked. Right, so I'm not going to keep those shots. 2 shots. Almost kept those shots. 1's definitely a miss. 4's a hit because you get no movement penalty. 4, that's a kill, and there's no cover save because it's point blank range. So they're down to 4, last man, and that means they need to make a morale test, or they get a pin. Have they got bloody LT? No, because he got hosed down. Oh, that was a good thing to do as well. 9 is 9. 9 is 9. Look at that, the power of 1 LT with 1 shot. Well, 2 shots, but anyway. Alrighty, that is the end of that, and we're on to turn 6. And would there be another one? Well, that's again where you follow the rules. I can't remember what they say in this case. One thing we can say, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, that is the lot of them. One thing we can say, I think, shuffle, 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 is that for the beginning of the last turn, I can check if there's another turn, doesn't really matter, it was just an experimental thing. You still have the issue with tanks that, you know, if they move, you're hitting on 5. You've only got really your main gun if you're doing that sort of action. So you're likely to miss. It's always been the case, and cover is still a thing. So quite often that they do have cover, even though you don't feel it because you know it's, oh yes, you can hit on a 5. They then have the chance of a cover save, which in this case has been made every single turn. So the Germans, despite the 4 tanks, haven't knocked out a single vehicle. I'm not saying they've been ineffective, but the infantry coming on over here has been hugely effective. And infantry coming over here has been sort of didn't really do anything. It's proximity to all these weapons that really did it, and coming in right in the middle of them. Had to wait till the last turn, but it's brutally effective. Or second last turn. What would I do? Well, I'd just take the dice out of the bag. I don't know what I would do. It's a white dice. What is the most important thing? Well, this Neverwerfer is going to die, right? And my philosophy always is, if you're going to die, shoot before you go. Is it worth doing? Well, they seem to be in a standoff. This isn't really under threat. They're not doing anything. These aren't really in risk. So once again, I think he could be the shot. I mean, these can respond when I go down. He could go down. This could be a better shot, but the Nebelwerfer's in the way. Will he pass his order test? Ha ha ha. Right, you know what? I'm going to try this ish. Right, doesn't matter what I order. Let's see if he passes. 6, 7, he does. This Nebelwerfer is going to fire. He has sight over here. He could drop over there. Alright. I'll go for the infantry. I also know that they won't go down because, you know, that last turn itis, do you want to go down? Well, shit. That's funny. I would actually go down now that I think about it, because they're so ineffective. They're not going to do anything, are they? And I think this side has held. That's interesting. Don't like taking 2 order dice out the bag. No, you've got the numbers. I think I'll be plucky. You've got the kills ready. Right, so bottom squad. Top squad. Ha! Top squad is the vets. So it's a 3-inch blast radius. Oh dear. No. Yeah, there's your 3. So it's going to get 3 of them. And I think it's anything but a 1 because its penetration will be +3. Yep. So those become 5s, those are kills. And I think you do still get cover saves. Is it indirect fire? Yes, it is indirect fire, so don't think you do get cover saves. I'll double check that, but I kind of think it's treated as more round. It's certainly lobby, isn't it? Right, no cover saves. So, that would be 3 men dead. Oh dear. Sometimes you regret not doing what you should have done. And they need to make an order test. How many pins they have? So it's all only 1, but that is now 6 pins. So order test, morale test I should say. No. Where are these SS? The SS are gone. Some would say good riddance. Oops, daisy. There we go. Did we take an order dice? Nope. Nope. That is the first blood to the other axis, and that's very late in the fight. But sort of weirdly vindicates the idea that that was in fact the right move. Again, I quite like this one. This is just a funny way this is playing out. If you put a load of pins on these guys or force them down, you might block these guys. So, yep, I'm going to fire on them. No pins. Nope. Seven shots hitting on 4s. Would it go down? No. So 2 hits. That's 1 dead and no cover save. So basically they do lose a man. Fine. This has gone horribly. I think if I was me, I'd be planning on going down with those guys. I mean, watch the other debacle. We really want to kill a tank. I mean, it's just nuts. Is it the most important thing? Well, I have a feeling they'll move, not fire, and they're probably going to fire on these guys to double pin them down. How about you, sir, or you, sir? If you do him, you could really pin him in at the back of the table. Yep, that's good. He can fire 2 shots. Hitting on 4s because he gets no movement penalty. It's 2 hits. Rolling for kills, they're regs. They are not kills, it's just a pin. Okay, I'm going to try and activate these guys. Now, I want to just actually have a quick look at the stubborn roll. Forcing a morale check. This is not a morale check. This is an activation check. So, in this case, it's a full roll 10 minus 3 plus 2. That would be a fail. They go down. Oh. See that was the one pin from him that made them go down. I'm just going to move their pins out of the way because I'm going to stack him. Oh, thing of beauty. Because I think I'm going to need to see if I can get these guys through, which who knows. White. Huh. Right, I'm going to fire on the whirlwind, and I'll be hitting on a 3. That's a hit. I'm going to try and cover save the whirlwind, so it'll be, well, light cover. No, and the armor shot. Oh. So 3 plus 5 is 8. It doesn't penetrate. That's again the strength of a whirlwind. Does cause a pin. So the looks could harass them, as could this thing. So bugger it. I'm just going to fire on his tank. Needs a 3. Oh my god! Ah! Right, the machine gun is going to fire on... Huh. That LT. Who's going to go down? Oops. So 4 shots, needing 4s. 2. Reg. 2. And cover saves. No! Ugh, bizarre. What a bizarre game. It's bizarre that the PZ4 has not killed any tank, but it has killed 2 lieutenants and taken off 2 order dice with its pathetic machine guns. Like, just a weird, twisted mistress, this game. Is the whirlwind okay? Yes. Looks can't get into this thing. I'm gonna push the looks because, well, if I can swap for light cover but change the range. Let's do this. Sorry. 8 there. It's tight, but I'll give him it. Except what I think he needs to do is delete that, come back to there, and basically do more like that move. And then you can do a pivot. Something like that. I think it's a better. Yeah, that's better. Right. Two shots needing fives because he moved. And of course he misses. Jesus. Right, I'm going to machine gun the blinker, except I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna try and activate this guy. Are you kidding me? Have I got an LT nearby? Nope. Nope. So it's 10. He's base 9, 7, 8. He fails his order test. Did I read? Did I not? If he fails an order test, vehicles, orders, a pin is treated. A pin misses. If it's failed, it's has visible enemies its front up. Must make a reverse before going down. Jeez, that's a big nerf on vehicles. The more I think about it, because we are failing a lot of these tests, and we're backpedaling a lot. So I have to go back 9 inches. Wow, phooey. That was not the dramatic moment I was looking for. See, I was in love with this four tank list, and then all of a sudden I'm not. I'm tempted to replay this battle again. I mean, it's not really, no. Okay, brain. Let's get this one done. I mean, it's a massive win to that. That's the freaky thing. It's a massive win to the black army, bizarrely, but despite the failures of so much of its stuff. Right. So he can't shoot because things are blocking. The Whirlwind's now gone. PZ4's gone. So he doesn't care anymore. He's just going to go turn. I go 9. I'm going to let him go. There you go. And then he's going to shoot at these guys who are going to go down. Okay, there you go. So he's moved, he's hitting on 5s. 8 shots needing 5s. 1 hit. It's 2-inch template. 1-inch template, I do stand corrected. 1 inch. That's this tiny thing. You give 2 guys. Oh yeah, the kills. And then the cover saves. No. Oh yes, down. So no. So how many pins? 1. So I got 1 hit, I got 2 kills, and no cover saves, so there's 2 dead. There's them. I don't have to press morale test because I didn't lose enough guys, but it's certainly not looking great for those guys. Let's do order dice, another white one, and I feel like it's oh, we got power 8. Oh, it is the moment for you guys. You're never going to make it, are you? You're not. Well, we're going to do this out of principle. So we're going to try and advance 6. to try and fire. Yeah, I think you have to declare everything you want to do. I don't think either Panzer Schreck's going to be in range, but Panzer Panzerfaust. But I'm going to try. No, he's outraged. And that would mean they would both miss. I made 2 states for that model, so now they've got no Panzerfausts. Again, so much of what they were built for they didn't do. Arguably they sucked up bullets. Black dice. I think it's that guy, and there's an infantry squad out here. Okay. Yep. All right. Fine. Where? Take it back. So he's gonna fire 12 shots. He's not gonna go down because they're gonna get cover. Needing 4s. 1, 2, 5 missed. So that's 7. 5s for veterans. 3 hits. Cover saves on heavy cover. Nothing. Oh, okay. Well. Let's give it a go with these guys for one final shot. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So it's 4, 7 shots. Five hits. Legs. 2 kills. Need cover saves. They are down, I believe, so they got some cover save. 1 is made, so 1 pinned undead. So it's black and then white. And then we're done. And if it's black and then white, then this is going to be the move. So these guys are going to advance. 1. Alright, so they're going to fire on this guy. So it's a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 shots. 12 shots, you say? Not quite. No, it's not quite as simple as that, unfortunately. Here is, sorry, 12 shots. What was it? What was this called? 12 shots, so we moved, so it's needing 5s. 2 hits is really like that. Seriously. And no kills. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's a pin. No kills. And there would have been no cover saves. Oh my gosh. All that from that. Oh. Did a point blank? Was there a hit bonus at point blank? Let's check that. Remember, it doesn't take cover saves. Let's have a look. Did I make a mistake there? Have I been making a mistake? Oh, we haven't shoot point blank very much. +2 to hit. Yes. Okay, so +2 to hit. So that's out of curiosity. Was so it was because they'd moved. It become 5s, but that means another 3 hits. So let's just see if we get any kills from that. 1. So not really that dramatic a change there. Phooey. And then the last dice is these guys, who don't really need to do anything. But what could they do? Could they kill anyone? No. Alright, I'll just leave it there. That seems like a fitting ending. Right. Very quickly to sum up, because it's been a long one, and I'm tired, and it's been a long day, and all that. So, 6 dice to 1 is a very large victory for Germany, which is not a surprise because it is Germany takes Germany. That's the wonderful thing about bolt action, right? So, did the tanks do an amazing job? Not really. As in, were they the ones doing all the killing? You know, not really. Nope. Not like the whirlwind. All the terrain in the sort of way, and the cover meant a lot of the time they weren't getting the kills that they wanted. PZ4 killed 2 LTs. That was bizarrely, in the most nonsensical. I think the Lux killed a machine gun team, but I mean, in terms of paying off their points, that's 60 for the 2 LTs. That's pathetic. And Lux killed 50 for its own 115, so they're not even getting their own points back in value. What did most of the killing? I think the infantry with SMG. What killed that big rover? Yeah, it was a mix. These guys, these flanking units, basically took off a Nebelwerfer, an LT, and a squad. So if they took 3 units, would that be right? Yep, I think that would be right. So they took 3 units. So value, Nebelwerfer was cheap. That squad was quite expensive. So the tanks weren't like mega killing machines, but what they did do is they completely caused their opponent to freeze really on the baseline and not really go anywhere or do anything. It was very sort of huddled up. Partly the luck of the scenario I would agree with, but they just sort of huddled up, and they couldn't shoot that much. No matter which way you cut it, they don't really have the firepower. They had the Panzerfaust guys. They never even got in range because they got beaten up too early. I mean, obviously, I think my experience showed in the flank. This one was the same flank attack as this one, except it was horrible because it just got cut open in the open. On the other hand, it's also the terrain doesn't really suit it. To come through this stuff would be quite difficult. Maybe better, but yeah, still quite difficult. So I don't know. I think that was a bit of it was partly a product of terrain. Whereas this one, because the units were lined up, and again, distribution, because these guys had started here, nothing went that way much. These all spawned here, so this was just easy. Come in and smash a load of stuff at close range. Which I probably failed to roll accurately for. I probably should have been doing more hits, in fact, because of the point blank range. So, yeah, I still emotionally or whatever love that for tank list. I just love its sort of bullying nature. And yes, it's light on infantry, but you can also see it actually had the same amount of infantry as the opponent in a way. If you discount artillery and things like not dice, but infantry squads. And also your infantry, if used right, is just coming in to either clean up or flank. So I don't know. I love it. I really love it. I'm so tempted to copy it and run it. And I thank you to Eric for sort of selecting. It's not a style I'd ever gone for. Chris's list arguably didn't commit to anything enough. I offered him 4 Nebelwerfers. He was a gentleman. He said no. I don't know why he said no, but maybe he hadn't seen them or whatever. I mean, they're very hit or miss. In the game he had, I think they killed 2 units, one of which was the Wirbelwind. So, it was a great return on investment, and killing the Wirbelwind was huge. It cut the advantage down of 4 to 2 vehicles down to 3 to 2, and it also meant that the major sort of infantry killing threat in Eric's list was gone. All I sort of learnt from that was you better be careful with it and try and protect it. But of course, Nebelwerfer, he shouldn't have gone near a building, I guess. That was part of it. But a slightly tricky map with that as well, because of the clustering of the buildings in the middle. It's quite blocking. But again, that's kind of realistic for bolt action. Usually there's quite a few buildings on the table. That's the strength of Nebelwerfers. They, use the attacks on buildings and therefore force you to think about, do you want to risk going into their arc of fire? So, I mean, but then again, you also saw them like miss. Again, that is the nature of Nebelwerfers, unfortunately. There's an awful lot missing. If anyone has any feedback for the battle, the army lists, the table, I can't remember if I put this table live. I can't even remember which one this one is. So I think, yeah, I have different table images. Which one were you just using? No, we weren't on that one. Oops, daisy. Yeah, were we on that one? Maybe we were. I thought there was a road up here, wasn't there? Was there a road up there? I don't even remember. It's 8 seconds ago. Yeah, I basically did some variations on this one like for having different road layouts. You can sort of basically see it down here. One of them had an extra road running up and down here. I really thought I had that on this one. I think I possibly just accidentally removed it, but anyway, yep. Technically I can even upload these flanking and reserve cards. I really like them because it's just really nice to be able to, when you're placing them, you can obviously peek Alt Shift. Is it not Alt Shift? Shift Alt, yeah. Yeah, so you can peek underneath them and have a look, and but you just put them down next to your units. Obviously you can't write things down because we're online, and how else do you record this? You put a little note down. But so I've even used these in my live games. I don't have beautifully printed ones like these, but I just write on a blank playing card and just write flank left, flank right, whatever, or reserve. You just put it underneath the unit, and that's a really nice way to remember. Yeah. Obviously, this one getting immobilized did sort of cut the numbers that could pursue them down. There's many ways to play this list. Again, the table shape and the table deployment was a factor. I mean, Chris said it didn't suit him. He didn't say it was unfair because he's not that bad of sport, but he said it didn't suit him. But it's weird. It meant Eric's panzers start over here and have to come over there, rather than the chance of them just going straight over the board. So this thing about panzers reversing or tanks reversing when they fail an order test, Jesus Christ, I don't know. I think that's just nuts. I think it's just going to see so many vehicles lost, because typically players advance, or me especially, I advance and then shoot. A reverse, is it a full speed? Does it say that? Well, most vehicles reverse at half speed. Or is it tanks failed order test? Vehicles and orders. If it's failed, it must make a reverse move before going down. Reverse move straight backwards, no pivot. How much is a tank reverse move then? Reverse move for a tracked vehicle. Reverse move at half its standard speed. Well, it seems to me then you're looking at 4.5. You'd have to fail to order test to go back if you come on 9. Again, it depends if you're on a road. I mean, and again, that means open top being pinnable. It makes them more vulnerable. And this new thing about heavy weapons makes them more vulnerable. I don't know if Germans have HMGs. These MMGs with 7 shots are great against infantry, but obviously they don't pin any vehicles. Yeah, interesting. This is why I recorded it. I thought it was a couple of interesting lists. Nothing controversial in Chris's, other than Envelwerfers maybe, but I felt that was a good kind of standard army you would meet. So maybe lacks a bit of anti-tank clout. I'll be curious to see what iterations these guys do on their armies as well. They will. I would like them to finish this battle. Let's have a look. Just give me a minute. I'm going to game save. So save that one. This is them. This is their battle, right? Spoiler alert. Should have taken that white ball away. So this is Eric's side of the table. He's only lost 6 men. Chris, on the other hand, has lost 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, depending how you want to add. However, in order dice, there's 2 to 1 in order dice lost. I believe that at this stage, I'm not going to. Yeah, shouldn't have done that, Chris. But anyway, it's basically Eric's got 1 order dice, Chris has got none. The Whirlwind is dead. PZ4 is where I put it. It's blocking the middle of the table. The Lux is almost where I put it. The Panzer 3 is there. Like I said, you can see how clustered his tanks are. But in some ways, it's a good defensive maneuver. The PZ4, which is the number 1 threat, is either hitting front on, and can't get round to get this shot in on the side of this one, which is kind of why the PZ3 is up to it. These guys, in my opinion, have come on a bit early. You know, if you notice, slight different distribution of them. These guys are still in it, but reduced. He's still in it, but reduced. They're still in it, but reduced. So that side's playing out not dissimilarly, but it's collapsing faster. This side is still very healthy squads, and you still got a PZ. We're in turn 4, so there's going to be 2 more turns left. It's a very similar game, how it's played out, other than the Whirlwind being lost, which I still think is huge. If you look at the Whirlwind there, I think it's been out for 1 turn already. You know, it would just be mowing these guys down, but not this time. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys play it out. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you if anybody ever watches this. I hope it was useful. Equally, I hope nobody watches it and I keep my nice learnings to myself. Do better in tournaments, thusly. Although, again, I suspect the chances of any of the New South Wales online team, not online team, bolt action players watching this one is very small. So yeah, I don't think it's going to affect my tournaments very much, unless the meta goes around the world like ripples. Anyway, alright, all the best everyone, thank you, take care.